At 50 years old, Eric Clapton finally opened up about a subject he rarely discussed in public: the Elvis Presley songs that shaped him, inspired him, and stayed in his heart throughout his entire musical journey. Clapton has always been vocal about his blues heroes: Robert Johnson, Muddy Waters, B.B. King, but Elvis was a different kind of influence. Elvis wasn't only a singer to Eric Clapton. He was the spark that lit the first fire inside a young British boy who didn't yet know he would someday become a guitar legend. And for the first time, Clapton revealed the 5 Elvis tracks that meant the most to him. Songs that didn't just entertain him, but actually pushed him toward becoming the musician the world knows today. Clapton began by explaining that Elvis didn't just sing songs, he lived them. He brought passion, swagger, style, and something raw that no one else had at that time. According to Clapton, these 5 songs captured everything that made Elvis the king. And the first song on Clapton's list was Mystery Train. Clapton said this track hit him like a bolt of electricity when he first heard it as a teenager. The rhythm, the groove, the almost haunting atmosphere. It felt unlike anything on British radio at the time. He said the song had a hypnotic feel, something that pulled him straight into the world of American blues and rockabilly. For Clapton, Mystery Train wasn't just a song. It was a doorway into the roots of music he would spend the rest of his life exploring. The second song he chose was Heartbreak Hotel. Clapton described the first time he heard it as a moment when the world shifted. He said Elvis's voice carried loneliness, pain, and rebellion all at once. The song showed him that music didn't always need big arrangements or complex structures. Sometimes, a simple melody filled with pure emotion was enough to leave a permanent mark on. Clapton admired the rawness of the recording, the echoing vocals, and the sense of space that made the entire track feel like a ghost story set to music. His third pick was That's All Right. Clapton explained that this song felt like the birth of something entirely new, almost as if a musical universe had suddenly opened up in front of him. He admired how effortlessly Elvis blended blues roots with rock energy, creating a sound that felt rebellious, youthful, and unstoppable. Clapton said hearing That's All Right made him realize, maybe for the first time, that music could be both simple and explosive at the same time. It made him want to pick up the guitar and chase that feeling for himself. The fourth Elvis song Clapton loved was Don't Be Cruel. He said this track was the perfect example of Elvis's charisma. It didn't rely on heavy guitar or blazing solos, yet it had a groove so infectious that it was impossible not to move along to it. Clapton admired the confidence in Elvis's voice and the way he controlled every moment of the song. For Clapton, this track showed the power of pure vocal personality, something he said Elvis had more than any artist of his generation. And finally, Clapton revealed the 5th Elvis Presley song that stayed with him above almost all others: Hound Dog. He said this song was wild, loud, and unapologetic, and that it showed Elvis at his most rebellious. Clapton described how the energy of the performance, especially live, made him understand that rock and roll wasn't just music. It was a cultural earthquake. It broke rules, shattered expectations, and opened doors for every musician who came after. Clapton admitted he spent hours trying to mimic the attitude and swagger that Elvis displayed so effortlessly. After naming the 5 songs, Clapton explained that Elvis didn't influence him in the way blues legends did, but he influenced him in a deeper, earlier way. Elvis made him want to be a musician. Elvis showed him that music could be magnetic, exciting, dangerous, and emotional all at once. And even as Clapton became one of the most respected guitarists on earth, Those 5 songs stayed inside him, like childhood memories frozen in time. At 50, looking back at the path he had walked, Clapton said Elvis Presley was the spark that started it all. And that's why these 5 songs will forever remain the ones he loved the most.
Please don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon.